Hi Candice, I'm Javier and I'm from Spain. Welcome.
Thank you.
I would like to know if when you do a casting for a show or for a movie, it's important to be more or less similar to the personality of that character.
Is it? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
I don't think always. And I think, that's the fun, and that's what I feel like a lot of actors say. It's just nice to be someone else every day. But I find what I really enjoy about acting in the theater is really getting to dive into someone else's perspective. And it just so happens, I think in television it happens maybe more often than not, that you kind of get hired for someone that you're a little bit more like. Not all the time. I'm sure Michael C. Hall is really not a serial killer that he plays in Dexter. But I just happen to be very similar to Caroline in a lot of ways. But I don't think that's across the board. I don't think it makes you better or worse. I think it just sometimes that's how it pans out. And other times you could be nothing like your character.
And for example, after the casting, and when all the executives and producers know who is going to be that character, do you think that they change some things from that moment, knowing who is going to be that person?
I think it's just a natural progression. I think that's why when you see the pilot episode, which is always the very first episode of this series, everyone feels a little stiff because you're very much playing a character that's been put on, and you don't really know everyone yet, and you're trying to fit this idea for everyone. But I think as the series goes on, there's just natural things and tendencies, and the writers can see that. I've asked the writers if it influences them, and they've said, of course. You get to know someone's cadence, the way that they speak, and you also know what, kind of play up what they're really good at, and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it eventually does. I've definitely talked about Bachelor, and then a week later in the episode, Caroline's like, "This is like an episode of The Bachelor. You can kiss everybody else." So,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Please forgive my English. It's very, very bad.
No, you're doing great.
Okay.
I don't even mean.
I read the question. When you were filming the scene where you and Nina are fighting, was it you two, or did they use your stunt doubles?
We always use stunt doubles. We always at least have to have one big shot of the stunt doubles doing everything. Nina and I were both very excited to shoot that fight scene, so we learned the fight sequence and the fight choreography about a week earlier and practiced really hard. And so we actually got to do a lot of it. We didn't flip anyone over, but we wore padding, and so we got to do a lot of the kind of fist-to-fist combat ourselves, and especially because there was so much dialogue in between. And so when you can, you try to do as much as you're allowed to. But so yeah, it was a mixture of both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Candice.
Hi.
I want to ask you if you have some word for this summer about vampire diaries.
If I have a word for...
Yeah, some movie or some like 30 rules for yourself.
Oh, my favorite episode?
Yeah.
Ooh. For me personally, it was when Caroline became a vampire. I really liked working in that episode. And I loved shooting the pilot. And it's just very sentimental. And then I love when we have like big fancy events so we all dress up. I think that's always fun. I know it's really long hours for everyone, but it's kind of fun to see everyone all dressed up.
Okay.
But those are my favorite.
I'm a guy and I want to speak I want you to speak about the dresses.
Speak about the dresses. Yeah, perfect.
Especially the blue, the first Klaus gift to you.
That was a very pretty dress. Yes, the blue, the ball gown. In our wardrobe department is really great. They made some alterations to that and just really brought it to life. That was very fun to wear. Even on the 6th day when you sometimes you just kind of just want to put on PJs and eat a hamburger. But you have tea instead. No, I really like that dress. And then the prom episode dress, I loved it. And it might as well have been a wedding dress. I mean, it was beaded and bedazzled, and had a train. And, I mean, you would have, I was so cheesy, and all the clothes were so cheesy. You would have thought we were like, oh my god, like, it fits perfectly. And like, oh my gosh. I mean, it was ridiculous. It made a lot of people start talking about, like, well, if I had a wedding dress, like all of us girls just had a field day with it. It was really beautiful, and I'm talking way too much now. So.
Okay, thank you. You're the most beautiful girl on the show. Thank you for coming.
Hi, David. My question. When Caroline was human, she was a little disgusting person. But when she became a vampire, she's nice, cute, a honeypot. Why do you think is it?
Well, first of all, she is a teenager. And no offense if there's any teenagers in this room, but I remember myself as a teenager, and I was a pain in the booty. So I think we can forgive her a little bit. I think that she just hadn't been through anything traumatic before, besides her parents' divorce. And so that's kind of how I looked at it, is that she just is so naive, she just doesn't know any better. And she's, she was jealous, and she didn't know how to get over it, and she was mad, and she didn't know what she wanted. And then I think her becoming a vampire, as one usually does in high school. But I think that was the first time, if I had to break it down, it'd be, she became a vampire, she killed someone. That was the first time we saw Caroline take any responsibility for a big event and really feel bad, genuinely bad, for her actions. And I feel like when you really screw up, you grow so much. And sometimes you just have to screw up to kind of have that light. That's what I think. I mean, I've definitely had moments, you disappoint your parents, you disappoint your friends, but you gain perspective and you become a better person after that, hopefully.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, Candice.
Hi.
One of the perks of being a vampire is that you actually have the chance to live through centuries or so. If you had the choice to go back in time and live a decade or a century, when would it be?
I think it's just having this conversation recently. I feel like I just love like the 50s and the 60s, but women didn't have that many rights then, so that makes me a little hesitant. I feel like the 50s and 60s with women's rights would be pretty awesome. Or I'd just be a hippie in the 70s or late 60s hanging out in Santee Alley and San Francisco. Not Santee Alley, that's in LA. Well, I'd just be hanging out in San Francisco.
Thank you.
Thank you. My geography's still a little off. Are we in Barcelona? Is this where we are? Just making sure.
Hi.
Hi.
How is it work with Joseph Morgan?
Working with Joseph Morgan. Yeah, he's very sweet. He's very charming. He is always very happy to be at work and great with the crew. And I feel very bad because whenever I work with him, I can't help myself and try to talk to him in a British accent. And it's terrible. So he's really great. He's everything you want in a coworker.
Thank you.
Thank you.